Hi everybody, it's Craftin Just Because with Cowan, and today we are going to be using the half full stamp set, and it's about ready to expire at the end of this catalog year. So June 1st it'll be expired. So if you want this set, you're going to want to get it before it's gone. But the reason I wanted to play with it is I live in wine country and I have tons of friends that we all drink wine and love wine, and so I featured a few projects. So I'm going to show you a couple of the projects, and then there's going to be two other projects that I'm not showing you yet because this video will air prior to me showing the other two samples. So stay tuned. I do 5 days of this whole stamp set, and the first card that I made was this card, and it just said fabulous at any age. So I tied it with the itty bitty sayings, and then it opens up like that. So I did a little bit of stamping on the inside, and I used that Blackberry Bliss, and then used my Stampin' Blends to color that in. Then I also made this card, which was just random stamping the background, and I added some Wink Stella, again that same stamp set from the itty bitty greetings, because I thought fabulous at any age really goes with the wine, and I did stamp on the inside of that one as well. And then the next two I'm featuring together, and it's using Cherry Cobbler, and this one just open. They're both fun fold cards. They open differently, and they open just like that. So you could put your message on the inside, or you could add a piece of paper and add it to the back side, your choice. And then I added some of our gold sequined ribbon. And then this one uses our layering oval dies, and it just opens like this, but it fits in a standard envelope card. And I added the ribbon just to keep it secure there. But today's project, we are featuring this wine bottle set. So it's a cover that covers the wine bottle, and what I did is I random stamped on there. You tie it together with ribbon, and then I made this cute wine tag to go on top of it, and I added some designer series paper here at the top. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our project. First, we're going to need our Stampin' trimmer, so we're going to bring that here into focus. And then I also have, grabbing my supplies here, so we are starting with a piece of 12 by 12 paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to need to cut that down to 11 by 12. So on one side you're going to cut off 1 whole inch, just like that. And we're going to get rid of that. Then we are going to score on this 11-inch side at 1 3/4. I'm going to put it there at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, 7, 8 3/4, and then at 10 1/2. Okay, then on the 12-inch side, so we're just going to rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to score it at 2 inches and then at 10 inches. Okay, now you're done with your Stampin' trimmer. Now before we go much further, we need to random stamp our paper there. And so I just took, this is old olive paper. I'm taking my old olive ink pad, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the wine bottle first. And I just kind of turn it all the time just so I could get it going all different directions. So I start in a corner, and you probably couldn't see that because I was off camera. Let me kind of zoom up here really quick. Okay, and then I just keep turning my paper and stamping. Sorry if I was off camera there. The paper's so big. Darn it, I kind of pushed too hard there in the center of that wine bottle. That's okay, we'll make it work. And I'm making sure I go off the edges as well. So I just turn my paper every so often. I'm not pushing down hard enough here. Maybe because I'm in a hurry. And then I think I want to add one right here, going off like that. Okay, so I think that's good for the wine bottle. Now I'm going to come in and do the same thing with the wine glass. So let me go ahead and clean that stamp off. I'm going to zoom back in here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I added the wine glass, and I'm just going to come in here and do that all over the place in all my little holes. Whoops, wasn't paying attention there either. That's okay. It'll all work out. Okay, so I think that's pretty good on our random stamping. Then what you're going to come in and do is you're going to burnish all the score lines. And what that means is you're going to come in with your bone folder or a flat surface, and you're going to fold on those score lines but make a sharp crease. So you kind of go like this, and then I run my bone folder along the edge. That gives you a crisp, clean edge and breaks down the fibers in the paper. And we got to do the ones going this way and this way. Okay, so now on the bottom, what you want to do is you want to take your paper snips and you want to cut off this tiny little rectangle. So I go ahead and cut up the score line, and then I'm going to cut at an angle and take that off. You're going to want to do the same thing up at the top here. Cut in an angle and then cut on that score line and cut that piece off, just like that. So now you just have that. That's the edge where we're going to use our tear and tape and seal this together. Now on the bottom, we just want to cut up on all the score lines. So just go ahead and cut straight up on all the score lines, just like so. Okay. Now we're going to come in with our paper trimmer yet again. And we're just gonna want our score blade at the very top. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna run this along, and at 7/8 you're gonna make a little tab just like that. And at 2 5/8, make a little tab at the top just like that. 4 3/8. 4 3/8, and just kind of at the very top, you're just putting a little indent because that's where you're going to know where to put your holes for your ribbon, and also where to cut at an angle. 6 1/8, 7 7/8 and 9 5/8. So now see at the top where you see all my little indents, okay? What you're first gonna do is you're gonna come in with your hole punch, and right above that line, you're gonna make a hole. Same thing, right above the line, right above the line, all the way down. So now you have holes all the way down. That's where you're going to be placing your ribbon. Okay, but you're not done quite yet before we put it together. What you're going to need to do is you're going to make these triangles. So you're going to cut from that score line that you made at the top all the way down to the other score line. Cut all the way down just like that. And then cut that off. So you're just making a like teeth pattern all the way down, taking out that triangle. So this is what you're left with. Your top is all triangled, and then your bottom flaps are all cut up at the top. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to put tear and tape on that 1/2 inch strip. Just like this. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the backing off of your tear and tape, and you're going to seal it all up just like that. So now you've got your little cylinder there. Okay, now what you want to do, I'm gonna take my wine bottle off the top of this just so that I can show you, because you do want to put your wine bottle in this to do this next step. I should have grabbed another bottle of wine, but I forgot. And this one's sitting right here, so we're just going to use this one. Okay. Sorry, guys. But I want to show you how you want this in there. Okay, so you want to put the top down with the triangles up at the top, okay? Just like this. Then you want your bottom, see where your, let me pull you up a little bit. You want your bottom to go to that first score line, just like that. Okay, then you're gonna set it on its side, and you're gonna start with one side, and you're gonna put that down, and you could either use tear and tape or liquid multi-purpose glue. And what I do is I just put a little bit of liquid multi-purpose glue along the bottom there, and then you want to go opposing side to side. So there's one, get that one down. Okay, then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right there in the middle. Put that one down, and then this one's gonna go down. Just like that. Put a little bit of glue in the middle, and then a little bit of glue here down in the middle. Just like that. And then you're gonna wanna put it down and make sure you rub it into place so that it stays nice and flat. Okay, now you're going to want to come in with your ribbon And I'm using Blackberry Bliss ribbon. I believe this ribbon is expired, no longer available, but there might be some on the clearance rack. But what you're going to do is you're going to run this through. You pick which one you want your end. So this is where my glued edge is. I want that in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one up front. And I'm just going to run it in and out, just like this. In, out. Gonna make sure I've got a long enough piece of ribbon here. And then in. And out. Making sure your ribbon stays flat too. Okay, now you just have one last one to go. So then you're just going to tie this up. Once you're happy with it, there you go. Cut that off. Then I took a piece of designer series paper that was 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I ran that along. I put tear and tape on one side and then just wrapped it around the bottle just to dress up that little piece of your bottle. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to come in and do our tag. So let me get the pieces for that. Okay. So what I have here is a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, and it is cut by 2 by 6 inches. And we're going to score it at 3 1/4, just like that. Okay. Then you're going to come in with your scallop tag topper. You're going to put the short end into your punch down. So now you have a little tag like that. Okay. Then what I did is I took my label punch, and it's this label punch. It's in the annual catalog. Again, this is going to expire. It's in one of the 10s. But then what I did is I came in on that short end, and I want to cut out where that little hole, because we don't need that, but we want to make a hole for our wine bottle. So I make sure it's even at the top of my paper, or I apologize. I make sure my paper is even right in the center of the punch, and then I go ahead and punch down just like that. Okay. Then I have a piece of designer series paper that is, I forgot my measurement. I believe it's 1 3. Yeah, it's 1 3/4 by 3. So let's see here. Then I'm going to, just to make it look a little bit different, I'm going to round the corner on one edge and then the opposing edge. So now I have 2 corners rounded and then 2 that are pointed. And I'm going to glue this down. Just like so. Okay. Then I also cut out a wine glass and a wine bottle. And then I also cut out, with using my story label punch, the best wines are the ones we drink with friends. And then I stamped that in black Memento ink, and we're going to put dimensionals on the back of that. But first we want to come in and color our wine glass here. So let's see. I'm going to take my light pool party, and I just like to kind of shade those little areas on the glass that aren't going to be colored in so that it gives the glass some dimension there. And then I'm using cherry cobbler ink for my wine bottle label at the top and the color of my wine. So with the dark cherry cobbler, I just come in and highlight that area with the that's shaded, and then I also shade a little bit going like this, just down the one side. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the wine bottle. I apologize. I've got really bad allergies. Now, next we're going to come in with our light cherry cobbler, and we're going to blend those colors together. So I come in and I start where I, excuse me, start where I did the dark, and I just start blending those colors together. Just like so. And then do the same thing here. Pull that dark into light. Okay, and it's okay if you go outside the lines because we're going to cut this out. Next, we're going to do the same thing with the wine label that's on the wine bottle. So we're going to take our dark smoky slate, and I just outline the label, kind of a thick outline, just like so. Then I'm going to come in with that light, and I'm going to pull from the sides and color it all in. And what I do is I pull from each of the sides, making the middle a little bit lighter. Just like that. See how the middle's a little bit lighter? It gives it some dimension. And then I want my bottle to be green, so I'm using Old Olive, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my dark Old Olive, and I'm going to outline the bottle and all those spots where the outline is on the bottle. And then at the bottom corner, I'm going to kind of just come in and do some coloring just like this. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with that light Old Olive and start and blend those together. Do the same thing at the top. Okay, then I'm going to take my Wink Stella and just lightly go over the whole thing. Just like that. And I don't know if you could see it here. Let me zoom in here. Okay, and then we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to cut these out. So I just cut along the black, outside of the black line. Just like so. There's the wine glass, and then we'll come in and do the same thing on this wine bottle, and we're going to put some dimensionals on the wine bottle and on that tag and get it over our wine box here. But this would make a perfect gift if you were wanting to if you were going for a housewarming party or over to somebody's house for dinner, or something like that. And as you could see, it was really easy if you do all the coloring all at once, and then like all the cutting of the paper, things like that, then it can go pretty fast. So we're going to go ahead and use our liquid multi-purpose glue, glue this glass down. Just like that. And then I'm going to take mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals. We want some regular dimensionals here on our wine bottle. And then I'm going to put one here up at the top with a mini. And then we're going to add that here on the side, just like that. And then I want to add dimensionals on half the tag, but on the wine side. So I'm going to flip it over and I want to do it on the left-hand side. So I'm going to kind of come in like that and like that. And just add dimensionals to that one side because it's going to be hanging off the tag. So you just want it just like that. Okay. And then I have two clear, the clear they're called clear and frosted epoxy dots. These ones are the clear, and I'm just coming in and putting two, one on either side of the tag, just like that. Then we're gonna fold this over where it was scored, and we're gonna add it to our wine bottle. So that's the back. And then this is your front, just like that. So there's your project for today. I appreciate you guys following me. If you have any questions, please message me, and I will be posting this video and the directions on Thursday of, I believe it's Thursday, May 3rd. So I look forward to crafting with you guys again next week. Bye-bye.